Hi, this is Ajit, and today I'm answering Lisa's question on how to become better at sales. Now, to become better at anything, the first rule is always to be able to go ahead and test and find new methods and try and make that practice. And secondly is to go and study. Now, studying sounds really boring because we think textbooks when we think study, but studying is actually an art of understanding from different authors, speakers, video programs, audio programs, conversations, looking at somebody in action. That's how we actually study things in the real world, and to be able to adapt that to your own reality and see what works for you and what doesn't. So it's a continuous process. So what I can give you in this video is some things that I do or I have done to become better at sales over an extended period of time. Okay, recently I had the opportunity to speak on stage, and I was able to close almost 70% of people that were listening to the talk. And that came from these philosophies that I'm going to share with you. There are about 5 of them here today that we're going to discuss in this video that will allow you to become better as a person who can communicate better and can actually enroll clients much more easier. The first rule of becoming better at sales is to start to believe in yourself and your product. Now, you might wonder, Ajit, I already believe in myself. I'm confident, don't you see? And I also believe in the product. And yes, you do. But when I say believe in yourself and your product, I mean, do you absolutely own it? When I say owning it, here is the process I'm talking about. Do you know, or when you walk into a room, do you walk in with absolute certainty that that product is the best damn product that is in the market, that is available for that particular problem, right? Have you actually done the work to get yourself to believe, if you don't believe it already, that that product is the best product? For example, when I actually start to sell a product, or I would never actually communicate or be a face of a product that I don't absolutely believe in. But when I actually believe, and this is how I build my belief, is I would go in and I would actually read studies that prove that what I'm teaching in the program or somebody else is teaching in the program actually works. I look at stories or influences that have been created by that individual or their system. I go out and validate with different people by getting them to try the products. I call the clients to figure out if that person actually is that impactful that they say that they are. And all these things create my belief even more and more and more. And by the time I'm communicating that to an audience through a webinar, a sales video, a sales page, a phone conversation, whatever that may be, the belief is so deep with the audience. The belief is so deep with me. The belief is so strong in me. There's almost no chance that I would not be able to communicate in the best possible way. Belief in the product, belief in yourself is so important. Okay, so that's the first thing, is do you believe, do you absolutely with certainty can say that that is the best product, the best person in the market, and you can communicate that? Secondly, do you fully understand ICA? What is an ICA? I ran out of space here. Understand ICA. An ICA is Ideal Customer Avatar. That means, do you fully understand the client or the potential client that you're speaking to? And when I say fully understand, I'm not talking about that they are male and they're 45 years old. That's not when you say you fully understand the client. You fully understand the client when you understand what is the place that they live in, what kind of place would they like, what's the kind of house do they live in, what are their fears, what kind of car would they drive, how their day would unfold, how busy are they, what kind of food would they eat. The reason why these questions might feel like, but that doesn't really make any sense, Ajit. Here is why they're relevant. When you start to communicate with a person in a dialogue or in a way that they live their lives, if you understand their fears fully, if you understand their lifestyle fully, what happens is when you are connecting with them through a video, through direct communication, you're able to relate to them, and they are able to relate it back to you. So to understand your ideal customer is extremely critical to your sales process, because it can't just be superficial information about your clients. It has to be deep understanding of your client. You have to understand the life of your client. Here is what I do. When I was pitching from the stage, when I was communicating with my clients, where there was an ideal, I actually designed who exactly my client is. I knew exactly that my client is most likely a female. I also understood that most likely they are a coach or a teacher of some sort. I also understood these are people who love to live in different parts of the world. I also understood that their income already falls between 300,000 to 3 million annually. I also understood that gave them the ability to, they enjoy great lifestyle. They want to hang out in cool places. They are mostly vegetarians. So I do understand that about my clients. I understand that they enjoy an occasional glass of wine, things like that. But that allows me to fully embody and fully communicate with my clients because I understand how they live, how and what they feel, what is important to them, what is not so important to them anymore, right? And that allows me to become better at communicating what our offer is, which allows me to, of course, be better at sales. Thirdly is human psychology. If you are already not a student of this, you got to become a student of human psychology. The reason why human psychology is so important in sales is because we are almost always, not almost always, we are selling to humans. We are selling to other individuals. Like it is important to understand your client, like it is important to be in their minds, like it is important to believe in your product, which is a very emotional process. It's extremely important that you understand how us as human beings operate. What is it that is important? Why is it that human beings, once we commit to something, it's important for us to finish it? Why is it that we respond to things that are scarce? Why is it that we follow certain people? Why is it that we believe when somebody else is telling? Why is it a celebrity testimonial less important than a regular person's testimonial? These are actually proven things. And when you start to understand human psychology, you start to understand what is it that you need to communicate at what stage of the process for you to be able to create that bond and trust with your clients, to be able to make more sales, to be more effective in sales. Now, when I say to be able to make more sales, I don't mean, and I don't want you to come from a place of thinking that we are scheming our clients into something. It's very important that you understand that you're learning all of this will actually give you power to close more clients, but always do that for the good stuff because that's more important and that's very, very important for you as an individual, for you to be able to believe in that, to be able to really fully embody your clients and to use human psychology. Because if you're not really doing something good, this will not come naturally to you. It's very, very hard. You cannot manipulate the stuff. All right? Fourthly, what you need, which a lot of people who are doing sales don't really go for, is actually goals. Actually, salespeople do that very often. But as entrepreneurs, we don't do that very often. We go in without thinking goals so much. And goals are very, very important if you want to increase your sales because that is self-motivating. So as much as sales is an external game, where you're understanding human psychology, your client's profile, you're understanding your product, it's also an internal game where when you establish a goal, your mind starts to rewire itself to find a way to achieve that goal. And because it starts to rewire itself, you're more likely to convert better. If your goal is to convert 80% of your clients, you would probably research better. You'll probably have a better customer avatar. You'll probably have a better belief system around it. You'll probably study human psychology more. So goals are extremely important if you want to improve your sales and your conversions on your sales numbers. So have goals. That's the fourth thing that is extremely important if you want to increase your sales. Lastly is structure. Now this is again something that a lot of people don't understand about sales, and they think sales is about talking. Sales is not about talking. Sales is actually about the structure of conversation. By conversation, I include listening. Actually, the best salespeople listen a lot more than they talk, right? Because it's important for us to be able to create that bonding and trust with our client and to be able to create that conversation that we actually allow them to speak to us so we can create a really good understanding of them and help them towards getting the result that they want to get, right? But you need to have structure to be able to hold that conversation and continue that conversation to get the result that you want. A lot of people don't follow a structure. They just talk about the product descriptions and benefits and everything, and that is exactly why it doesn't work. Because it's a much deeper thing to go in. Now, I can't go in and tell you the structures. I don't have the time in this video to be able to get you to explain the whole human psychology. But if you simply go on YouTube and try to find individuals like Grant Cardone, or if you listen to people like Robert Cialdini, you'll be able to understand human psychology, goals, structure a lot better. We will also be publishing a ton of those videos on this channel. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel so we can share those trainings with you. And below in the video, you can actually go ahead and comment and ask any questions that you may have specific to this topic so I can answer them. I personally answer all the questions myself. So feel free to ask questions directly to me and I will be answering your questions. Okay? These are just simple things that you can implement right now to increase your sales. Of course, like I said in the starting of the video, that sales or becoming better at anything is a continuous process. It is not something that can be done in 10 minutes. It's not something that can be done in 10 months. It takes a lifetime of practice, a lifetime of training. So go ahead and continue to study from different channels, and that will help you becoming better at sales.